The Washington Wizards. Now, this is your franchise, and I do think you're going to disagree with my hot take. It's very bold, and
Here
it
we
might
go.
not be correct. But look, I look at the Wizards. I was a fan back in the day. They had Brad Beal, John Wall. They were tearing it up. I thought this team could go to the finals, give the Celtics a run for their money. They were really exciting. I love that team. But since that, there's been a bit of an issue. I think after the departure from John Wall, the Brad Beal, Russell Westbrook era, I wasn't really too much of a fan. The Washington Wizards, they need culture. They haven't had that for a while. I don't think they've played the game in the right brand of basketball for a while now. It's all really been like ISO ball. You know, with Brad Beal, with Brandon Jennings, with John Wall, whoever it was. Gilbert Arenas going that far. But I look at a guy like Bilal Coulibaly. I look at Deni Avdija, and I think these two players I would much rather build around long term and have, like a Spurs trajectory, building around a kind of like a unit, like a team. Sharing the ball around, not having Kuzma, not having Jordan Poole take like 40 to 50 shots per night, but kind of build a real offense. Like, I think Bilal and Deni, they need the ball in their hands because they can make plays for their teammates. And I think Poole and Kuzma, they kind of, as good as they are and as talented as they are, I don't think that they bring that aspect where it's like they can get theirs, play make for the guys around them. I just don't think that will lead to winning. So I'm saying build around Deni and build around Bilal over Poole and over Kuzma. That is a hot take for you. A lot of people probably don't agree with me. A lot of Wizards fans probably hate that. But that's just me.
Well, to be honest, I think I don't hate it because I think both of those guys are two of our best defenders alongside Daniel Gafford. I think, despite the fact, obviously, Denny gets a lot of, slander towards him because he's not assertive enough or, he hasn't been consistent with his offensive game over the past couple of years since he has been drafted into the league. I do believe that he still offers a lot. And again, there's only one way to really get confidence on that side of the ball, and that's been by getting, the ball in your hands, getting touches, and then, the game will start to come to you. But if you're having guys like Kuzma and Jordan Poole isolating or, trying to go to work for most possessions in the game, you end up becoming cold. And then, let's say someone starts to get double teamed in that situation, then guys get the ball in their hands and they haven't touched the ball for a few
Yeah.
possessions. And then how do you expect them to make shots? How do you expect them to actually, get into the flow of the offense? So I don't necessarily dislike it. I think when you do have a guy like Jordan Poole with the shot making that he does have, you kind of have to trust him sometimes. Obviously, you're going to get the good and the bad of Jordan Poole. We saw that 41-point game again, mind you,
Yeah.
preseason game. Today he looked pretty decent, but
did.
when you have a guy like Tyus Jones, who, is one of the best backup point guards, who's now starting for you, who's a great distributor, who doesn't turn the ball over, I think that in itself should be an indication of what kind of basketball style you should be playing, which is a pick and roll, share the ball, get plenty of ball movement. I think that in itself you're not wrong about, but I just think it also needs to come down to guys like Deni, guys like Corey Kispert, Bilal Coulibaly to continue to
Develop.
want to be aggressive and want to be that scoring option, because you can't be a number one option on a team, or you can't be a guy that someone leans on if you're not going to be assertive enough. You know what I mean? I feel like confidence and assertiveness is two of the most important things in being a good NBA player, because Deni, Bilal, Corey Kispert, they all have the talent, flowing out of them and flowing through their veins. But I think the one area that really, to me, has let Deni down is his confidence. And that's the difference between great NBA players and NBA players that have really long, successful careers, and guys that can obviously make all-star games or NBA teams and become genuine stars in this league, and guys who just, play a role and are content with that. So if Deni can be more assertive, then I definitely would love to see him be the number one option. He's 6'10", he can handle the ball, he can defend, he's, a willing rebounder, he hustles. I think he just needs to get more consistency and confidence with that three-point shot and not be afraid to, attack the lane. He's way more athletic than people think he is,
Yeah,
and
he
that
is.
people give him credit for. So he just needs to use that. And, Bilal Coulibaly, I've really liked what I've seen. Every time he gets the ball, something does happen with it. And even on the defensive side of the ball today, he had 3 blocks. So I don't hate the take. And although, again, we have two 20-plus point per game scorers, they are selfish. They are a lot to themselves. And I don't think they have the best interest of the team at heart. So for that reason, I don't disagree with you. And I definitely think we need to go in that direction. But it also comes down to those players. If they are going to be guys that we lean on, again, just have to be a bit more, assertive about being those number one and number two options. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that. But, yeah, a lot to work with the Wizards and a lot to improve on. It's tough being a Wizards fan, but I think we've got a lot more positivity to look forward to than we have in previous years. So, fingers crossed that it continues to be on the up from here for us.
No, I think you guys will be good. Like, I was watching Deni today in that first half. He was really impressive, but then he only took 8 shots. So you are spot on with, like, they need to be, like, more assertive to kind of get more shot attempts. And then Bilal, like, when he had it, he distributed the ball well. He took the right shots. But it's like you go up the floor 10 times, you only get 1 touch. So, yeah, I do agree. It's going to be harder for a guy like Bilal to kind of fit in as a rookie naturally. You're not going to get the touches you kind of want. But for Deni, it's really time for him to, turn those 6 to 7 to 8 shot attempts into, like, we need 16 shot attempts from you. We need, like, maximum shot attempts every single game for you to progress because, like you said before, 6'10", puts the ball on the floor. He's athletic. He can shoot. There's no reason why he should not be a star in the making. Like, Deni has all the tools to be something really special. It's really only up to him.
Yeah, I remember seeing the pre-draft clips. He took the ball coast to coast, and he got above the rim. He looked like he was quicker than everyone on the court. Mind you, again, he was playing in the Israeli league, still a strong league, but ultimately, there's no reason why you can't take that confidence into the NBA. You're just as much of an athlete as half these guys are, hence why you can stay with guys defensively and make life difficult for them on that defensive side of the ball. If you can be a lockdown defender and a really good defender at that in the NBA, you clearly have the right tools and the athletic makeup to do it. So there's no reason why that just can't translate to the offensive side. And that's why I get frustrated with him, because I really do like him and I really want him to do well. But too many times in games I see, like last year, the potential to be like this number one guy and this really star player that everyone expected him to. And then other times it's like he's just
doing nothing.
Coast through like he's a passenger. Yeah, and you're doing nothing. So that to me is the frustrating part about him. But hopefully, like I said, he turns the corner. We just gave him that extension for 4 years, $55 million. So I'm hoping that, things go well for Deni Avdija. But again, the jury's out, and the jury's out for a number of those guys that we have drafted in the past few years. We could have had Halliburton at number 9. We picked Avdija. We could have had Alperen Şengün. We picked Corey Kispert. So if those guys don't improve and start to, continually work on what they need to work on year in, year out, then those decisions might come back to really haunt us going forward. So I'll leave it at that.
Hello, yes, you at home. This is Commissioner of the NBA speaking to you, Adam Silver. Here's a message in courtesy of BenchMob in collaboration with the NBA Store. When BenchMob hits 1,000 subscribers, they'll be giving away a free NBA jersey to a lucky subscriber. So just do all the things listed on the screen. God damn